Hello, Colorado. This is John Baird with I Love Colorado Beer. And today we're here with Lauren with Rocky Mountain Brew Runs. Lauren, would you tell us a little bit about who you are and what Rocky Mountain Brew Runs is?
Yeah, sure. So I am co-founder and marketing director of Rocky Mountain Brew Runs. We produce social fun runs from Colorado's best craft breweries, and this is year number three of the series. So we, organize these social fun runs, and post-run we do our famous Beer Olympics games. We have food trucks. We, just hang out, grab some brews, and have a good time.
Well, awesome. You said this is year three, is that correct? You've been doing them for 3 years?
Yes, this will be the third year. Yep.
So take us back to when you guys first started the brew runs in the very beginning. Where were you when you had the idea, hey, let's combine running and beer and make it like a regular thing?
It's a good question. We've been producing events in Colorado for about this will be our sixth season producing events. And our philosophy in event production is making it accessible for everyone, runners, walkers, people of all ages. So a lot of our events are themed fun runs, untimed. And I guess I would consider myself a beer snob. Just within the last couple of years, you've probably seen as well, just so many craft breweries, amazing craft breweries are popping up, and I really got into the scene, and I love exploring new craft breweries and trying new beers, and we also love running. So we're like, this would be a great opportunity and way for people to see the state, visiting these new breweries, going on runs, seeing new places, and trying new beer.
Well, that makes perfect sense. Where were you guys when you guys first had the idea? Were you like hanging out at a brewery? I mean, is that what happened? How did you like get the inspiration in your head?
Um, I think we're actually at like a coffee shop. So I know, I know I'd love to say that we were at a brewery, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, I think we're at this coffee shop, and we, thought of the concept. There's a lot of events like this out there now. You've probably seen popping up. But we were one of the first in the scene, and so we thought of it. We're like, all right, let's buy the domain, let's get the website launched. So within like a couple hours, we had like a website outline, and we were ready to go because we've done this in the past with other events.
Nice, nice. So, how do you even start with something like this? You came with the idea, you got the domain, you did that. What's the next step? Where do you go trying to set up all these fun runs?
Well, next step would be developing your strategy. So figuring out like how do you want to go about this? Do you want it to be, a timed event? Do you want these to be large events where you have to shut down roads and get permitting and all that? Or, do you want it to be like a laid back event where it's smaller, it's less time intensive, and it's, more a little more laid back. And that's kind of the route we decided to take. We had been producing events nationally in 10 cities, and we have two little kids, and it was just getting crazy putting on these really huge productions. So we really wanted to take a step back and go back to the roots of what made running fun for people years and years ago before they started doing all these crazy, competitive events where you have to try to get the best time you can get. We wanted to make that feel and the atmosphere where you just go grab a beer with some friends, go on a laid back run and just hang out. And it's more about the socialization versus, seeing your time at the finish line. Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of like the concept behind the series. But as far as the strategy, for us, we wanted to create small, intimate events. So, step one was just reaching out to breweries to see if there was interest in producing this type of event, and partnering with the breweries, which, you know, we found them very open to this idea. And then step two is just, creating the events, getting a date, and marketing them.
Great. Well, I know you guys do several events all over, but do you guys usually use like shoe chips to time people? I mean, I know you don't want to make it too crazy about the time, but do you have events with and some events without, or timed or not timed? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. So this year we do have one timed event. As far as like our history with event production, we've never put on a timed event before. It just kind of goes against our philosophy of, making it accessible and just for fun. We do have a timing clock that is up there, but we've actually never done a chip time event. This year is an exception because we are partnering with the Boulder, and one of our events, our Oscar Blues Brewery event on April 30th, is a qualifying event. So we do require that as a requirement that needs to be chip timed, but it's our only chip time event. All the other events are cheaper and are just for fun.
Well, that's neat. Yeah, I've done the Boulder Boulder for several years, and that's definitely a fun event to do as well. So like on your other events where it's not time, do you guys like block off the roads, or is it just on the back streets? How does that work?
Well, that's part of the strategy. So we try to find breweries that are close to paths, bike paths, or trails where we're not really crossing major roads. So, that limits the breweries we work with, but then it makes it easier for us. It allows us to reduce our fees and pass on that discount to our participants. So we don't have to pay those really expensive fees to close the roads and get extensive permitting. So yeah, I mean, we have a set course. We have a water station. We have volunteers along the course. One of the things that makes us unique is we do really fun signs along the course, so you can see some of those in our image library on Facebook. But yeah, they're just, I mean, literally, they're really, really laid back. Nothing really formal about them.
Well, nice, nice. Do you guys keep track of like who finishes first or anything like that, or is it more just kind of a laid back atmosphere kind of thing?
Yeah, so we do keep track of the first couple finishers. We do have unique awards as well, so that's a great question. So we award the top male and top female finisher. We award the youngest runner, and we encourage families to come out, of course, even though we're at breweries, but it doesn't mean families can come out. There's always other options, beverage options. We were the oldest runner, and then we also have two fun categories. We have a filled keg, which could be anywhere from like 150 to 175 pounds. So we open that up to two runners, and we challenge them to carry the keg for the entire run. And if they finish under 45 minutes, they each get a filled growler. And then we have a growler challenge where if one runner can carry two filled growlers and finish under 25 minutes, they get a filled growler.
Wow. Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
I'm a home brewer and I brew a keg of beer at a time, and I know how heavy a keg of beer is. Finishing anything in 45 minutes carrying a full keg of beer is a pretty significant challenge. Have you had people that have been able to finish that?
I think maybe one couple, maybe one or two couples has finished it. And, it is two people. It's not just one person, so it's a team. We have rules like you can't put it down. You can't, have somebody else jump in and help you. But it is tough. I mean, we make it tough for a reason. It's a challenge. And, we get a lot of like CrossFitters and OCR racers, obstacle course racers. So they love the challenge because in those events, they're hauling like crazy, huge rocks and logs. And so they see it as training for their other events.
All right, so I was looking at your website. You got to tell me what the Beer Olympics is and what some of the categories there are.
Yeah, so those are just some fun games we produce post run. When people show up to check in at the race and to get their packet, they can sign up for the Beer Olympics. So we limit them to about between 10 and 15 people per game. Some of them are modeled after real Olympic sports. Others are just kind of goofy. One is the CrossFit squat challenge, for example. If you've ever done CrossFit, they have you, for some of the workouts, do like these deep low squats and do as many as you can in a certain amount of time. So that's modeled after that, except the hitch is you're holding a beer on your head. So we actually have referees. We partner with CrossFit gyms. They come in and they're the referees, and they make sure you have proper form, you're squatting low enough. They help you count. It's how many squats you can do in 1 minute, and then also that you have no spillage. So you'll help people on spillage, you're out. You're disqualified. We have a keg haul relay. That's probably one of our most popular. Depending on what the brewery has available, if we have full kegs, it's teams carry the keg. If they're half kegs, one person hauls the keg while the teammates are doing push-ups, and then it's a relay. So they switch until all teammates have completed and get back, and the winning team. We usually have prizes ranging from like another free beer to more brew end entries to swag from our sponsors. So
Well,
we
nice.
are, yeah. So we're in
Yeah.
the process of coming up with a couple new games this year, but right now we have 5 games.
Excellent. That sounds like a blast. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to participate in. I was wondering if you'd talk for just a little bit about some of the benefits of participating in the runs. Not only the fact that it helps you cardiovascularly, but there's probably also like when you finish the run, you get a free beer or something like that. Would you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, of course. So every run includes obviously the entry. Our runs range between $25 and $35. The standard rate is 25, and that's just a beer. We have these fun coasters this year, so if you go to any of the event pages, you can see an example of the coasters, and they're high quality coasters. We do bumper stickers, and then it includes the Beer Olympics games, which are free. And then also you're benefiting a couple great charities. So, our main charity partner is Epic Experience, which they organize outdoor adventures and camps for adults with cancer. So they're amazing. They actually have their gala this weekend. So if you're looking for something fun to do, give that little plug there. It's a fundraiser for them. And then also for a couple of our events, we're partnering with individual charities, like our May 15 event at Denver Beer Co. benefits Drink for Pink, which is a new local breast cancer charity. What's it called? It's a man, I can't think of the name. Anyways, it's drinkforpink.com if you can look it up. But that event's unique in that we're going to have people wearing like a tutu contest. You get a Princess Yum Yum raspberry Kosh, so it's just a pink brew. So our events are fun, and some of those are themed and benefit other charities in addition.
Well, nice, nice. Would you tell me what a six pack is?
Yeah, so we do have participants that just love our events so much that they want to participate in more than one event. So if you purchase a six pack, which is basically 6 runs, you get that for the price of 5. So it's just a little bit of a deal.
Nice, nice. So you've been doing it for 3 years now, that's correct?
Yes.
Would you tell us a little bit about some of the events that you're having, where they're going to be, when they are, things like that?
Yeah, so our events range. Our first event, like I mentioned, is Oscar Blues on April 30th. And then we have one event a month and through November. November 5th is our last event. It's at Holidaily Brewing, which is a new gluten-free brewery. It's a dedicated gluten-free brewery. So for anyone out there that is gluten-free or has celiac disease, I actually went and attended their grand opening, and I had a blonde, and it was amazing. So I know a lot of people out there have tried, different gluten-free beers and say they taste gross and they just don't taste right. And I couldn't tell difference at all. Like I loved it. So that will be our last event of the year. And then one a month, we have events down south near, Castle Rock, Monument, and then all the way up north in Boulder. So you can find our schedule actually on our website on the events little link on the tab.
Well, great. Have you ever had any problems or issues in the past at any of these runs that you've had to like sort of make modifications or anything like that at?
Trying to think. This is kind of funny. So one of our first runs, we thought it'd be really fun to put like a table with little like beer shots on the table, like our water table. So we had, we had water out there, but we're like, man, maybe people want like a shot of beer as they're running by. So we put all these little, like probably 1 to 2 ounce little cups of beer out, and people are grabbing them as they go. And we didn't know that was against the laws for the permit. So we had a ranger come out on his bike, and he's pretty cool about it, but he's like, you can't have beer on the trail, on this public trail, which now that I think back, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but we just got a little warning, not a huge deal, but we won't be doing that again. So no beer on the course. Sorry, everyone.
Well, do you guys usually have like food, like a food truck or anything like that at the end, or anything like that?
Yeah, we do. So all of our events will either have a food truck, or some of the breweries we partner with, like Boulder Beer Co., for example, that's on July 16th. They actually have a kitchen. They have an amazing selection of items, menu items, really great food. Oscar Blues Brewery also has opened up some local restaurants, so they'll be having their restaurant bring in some food and catering that event. So yeah, there'll always be an option for amazing, handcrafted food to pair with your beer.
Awesome. So, what is the Run Happy Club?
We just launched that this year. We wanted to create, because we were only doing 7 events this year. Our whole thing is trying to visit as many breweries as possible and do runs around these breweries, and we just can't do that with 7 events. So we thought we'd create, an opportunity to run and see different breweries for free. There's no charge, but it's not an official run, so there won't be this, marked and set course. We will have like a leader running the club. No free beer, so you're on your own to pay for the beer. But just join us. Like, we want to create a community around running and beer, and we want people to come out and join us for a run, and let's get to know each other and socialize and get to know other brew runners. And yeah, so it starts, I believe, in a couple weeks is the first one. I'll have to double check that, but it's coming up soon.
Well, there's definitely communities around both those, craft beer and running. So combining those two, I think, is a wonderful idea. So if people are interested in more information, where can they go to get more information?
It's RockyMountainBrewRuns.com is the website, and there's links for events and Beer Olympics and the Run Happy Club and all that right on the main page from the website.
And then I'm sure you're on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff as well.
Yes, yep, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and it's just Rocky Mountain Brew Runs. Yeah, definitely follow us. I mean, we'll be having some sponsors doing giveaways. We do fun little challenges every once in a while where we will give away entries and six packs and all that stuff. So definitely follow us for additional perks.
Awesome. Well, Lauren, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and telling us a little bit more about your events that you're doing.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on. We're excited for this season.
Cheers.
Cheers.